Hello everyone. How are you all doing today? I have really missed you guys so much. I honestly think that you probably missed me too, right? Wow, it's been so many days without recording. It's been quite a while, but now we're coming back in full force. Okay, everyone, look. After opening the store and working at the factory, now things are more organized there, thank God. And here I am, coming back with a new recipe. Get ready, because there are new things coming to the channel. From now on, every week, I'll be bringing recipes here, okay? And today, to keep up the tradition, we have a delicious recipe. And let me tell you something, this cake I'm going to teach you today is the best seller at my bakery. And I'm going to teach it to you. So that means today there's a little secret. I'm going to share my recipe. Check this out. So let's learn how to make this delicious cake, a carrot volcano cake that's going to be a hit. A hit at your house. Perfect for an afternoon coffee, a snack, even a little party. Or if you want to sell it, why not, right? Let's start off right, okay? Already starting off on the right foot, all right? It's very easy to make. I usually make it in large batches, but I'm going to share a small cake recipe with you. And then you can double, triple, however much you want, because this recipe is very simple, but it's really... And for those of you who don't have a scale, I'll also be giving the measurements in cups today, all right? So let's get started. I'll give you the quantities as we go and explain how to make it. You won't even need a mixer. Easy, right? Look, I have it right here. Let's talk about cups, shall we? 2 cups of wheat flour, but for those with a scale, that is 240 grams, okay? 1.5 cups of sugar, or 200 grams of refined sugar, okay, everyone? And here I have 3 small carrots. I've already cleaned and sliced them. But for those who want to know, that's 250 grams. I won't add too much so the cake doesn't get heavy. 1 cup of oil, or 240 grams, 3 eggs, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder, or up to 15 grams, okay? And here's how it goes. Look, I'll explain how we're going to do it. A carrot cake doesn't need to be mixed in a stand mixer, so I'll just use the blender. I'll go ahead and separate the carrots, oil, eggs, and sugar, and blend them in the blender. Depending, maybe. Let's see if mine can handle this amount since the blender is small, okay? But if yours is small, here's what you do. Blend the carrots and oil first to really break them down, all right? And then we mix in the rest, no problem, the flour and the baking powder. I always like to mix those two together here, and then we'll combine everything. This cake is really simple. Let's go to the blender now and add the carrots. Cut them into slices to make it easier, right? As for the oil, 1 cup is enough. It's good to add the egg here too, because it also helps everything dissolve better. And the sugar will fit in here, guys. Let's see if it fits even better. Let me put it in here in a way so it doesn't spill. Okay? And now blend everything really well until all the carrot pieces are gone. And this cake, guys, is for those people who don't want any hassle, because look at this. Look, once it's well blended, that's it. Let me scrape everything out of here. There, it's all ready. I'm going to mix in here my flour, since I already added the baking powder here. And just stir it up and it's ready. How easy is that, right? Mix everything together. And I always stir a little with the spatula at the bottom to make sure there's no flour left. And that's it, guys. Look how beautiful this batter is. I'm going to use this baking pan, all fancy. This is what I use at my factory. I like it because the cakes turn out really beautiful. And here it is, 21 centimeters in diameter and 10 centimeters tall. All right, it's already greased. A powerful release agent, which I've already shown you here. Take a look at it. And now I'm going to pour in my batter. The oven is already preheated to 180, 190 degrees. If your oven's minimum temperature is 180, you can set it from 190 to 200. It depends on each oven. Now, if your oven's minimum is 160, then set it to 180 and let it preheat. and it will bake for 35 to 40 minutes. Some ovens take up to 45 minutes. Let's see, I'll check mine and let you know, all right? And while the cake is cooling, it baked for 45 minutes because my oven is pretty steady, okay? I'm going to make that soft, delicious brigadeiro that I think every Brazilian loves, so we can put it in the middle and turn it into a volcano cake. So let's get started here. In the pan, I'm already adding 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, which is 395 grams, and the heavy cream. But before adding the heavy cream, I'm going to put in, 50 grams of cocoa powder. And I like to use 50% cocoa. Stir to dissolve the chocolate because it dissolves better in the condensed milk. Now I add a box of heavy cream and I'm going to put it on the stove and let it cook until it's a bit softer. All right, I'll show you in a bit. And look at this, guys, my God, it makes you want to eat it all. Now, with this cake, you can still take that syrup and pour it on top, which is wonderful. And this batter is sensational. Let me give you just one tip. When you go to take the cake out of the pan, wait for it to cool down a little. Because if you're in too much of a hurry, those little pieces on top end up coming off. So give it a bit of time to cool. Look at this. Don't forget to like, share, and follow us. There's a new recipe coming. Bye.